You stated that the basis of our life, of a physical life experience, is freedom.
Indeed.
And that our purpose of a physical life experience is joy.
That is accurate.
And the result of it all will be called growth.
Good.
Can be called growth.
You have a triad of intentions that is so perfectly balanced that we cannot separate them one from another. We say to our physical friends, you have this triad of freedom and growth and joy. And our physical friends say, we hear you, Abraham, growth, growth, growth. We say, yes, growth, but freedom and growth and joy. And you say, yes, growth, growth, growth. Because you've been so convinced that you are unworthy and that you are here to climb the rungs of a ladder that you look for ways to prove your worthiness through your growth. And in your struggling for growth, you get yourself so far from your balance of freedom that you lose your edge of joy. Where if you will let joy be your intention, then joy will always hold you in that perfect balance between your freedom and your growth. We watch you laying on the rocks at La Jolla, basking in the freedom of that day, enjoying the sun, enjoying the wind, enjoying the smell of the sea, enjoying one another. Nothing could be better than that, you said. For the first hour, they laid there in absolute ecstasy. The second hour, it was wonderful. Third hour, Jerry's fingers began thumping on the rocks. For while he was satisfying very well his desire for freedom, his desire for growth was being left a little bit lackful. And so as that lack began to be acknowledged, he began to feel a little uneasy. And as he began to feel a little uneasy, feeling a little unproductive, then he sat up and began to think about what he wanted. And as he sat up, he began to think, and then he began to write, and then he began to engage Esther in conversation. Then they went into their hotel room, and they made some phone calls. And some of these gatherings that you are now participating in were as a result of that moment of insight. And so then as Esther and Jerry are very busy on their trail of upliftment and enlightenment, now their fingers from time to time are tapping on the rocks. But this time, not for lack of growth, but for lack of freedom. In other words, they have attracted enough physical activity, but that now they are longing for the rocks. But what is the factor that is letting them know the balance or imbalance? It is that feeling of joy, isn't it? So as joy is your constant quest, which is to say as connection is your constant quest, then from that connected state you will be guided to the perfect balance of freedom and growth.